guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, as you can tell by the title, we are playing with all Morphe products. I'm really excited about this because they just recently came into Ulta. So they are easily accessible now. You can always go online and order from them at morphebrushes.com. I really wanted to do a review on them because so many YouTubers, beauty gurus, influencers have a Morphe code, you know, like shop blah 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 and get 10% off. So, you know, the brand is really blowing up, and they are a super affordable brand, and they have awesome eyeshadow palettes, brushes, I have liquid lips, I have lashes, I have setting spray, I have highlighters, bronzers, I have the whole shebang. So yeah, I tested them out, and you're just gonna have to keep watching to see how it went. So I think, yeah, I want to start with eyes first. So I have the entire Vault collection here. I have all 4 of them. I have Dark Magic, Ring the Alarm, Armed and Gorgeous, and Bling Boss. So, since I'm wearing green, I kind of want to stick with the theme and do kind of a green situation. Alright, so before we start our eyeshadow, as with any look, I'm going to prime my eyelids, and I'm going in with the MAC Pro Longwear Paint Pot in Soft Ochre. Nothing new here. And I'm taking that on a Morphe M173 brush. I mean, in all my videos, you know, I use Morphe brushes just because I genuinely do like them. I think they're really good quality for a really great price. So, I always use their brushes. Like, I always have and I always will. Like, I really like them until I find something else that I like. I mean, I do have MAC brushes and stuff, but like, they're the same quality for a significantly lower price. So other than that, I haven't really tried anything from Morphe. Aside from, I do have the original Jaclyn Hill eyeshadow palette, which I do really love. To me, that was such great quality, like really well thought out. I was so happy about that. I bought it as soon as it came out. I actually paid more for mine to get it like express shipped and everything. Like, I was just so thrilled to have that palette. And I don't know, it was just so cool to see her be so successful and stuff. So I do love that palette so much. So these make me nervous, but we're gonna give them a fair shot. I wanna form my own opinion. I've seen and heard lots of opinions about them, and I wanna form my own opinion. So again, super affordable. This is like her signature packaging, the Morphe Jaclyn Hill. So this one is Armed and Gorgeous. And they do come bubble wrapped and everything. I've had these for months now, and they literally still have the plastic on them. I haven't swatched them. I haven't done anything with them just because I was so nervous. So this one's kind of like yellowy green colors. And then I want to play with Dark Magic, which is like browns and greens and blues. So I'm going to go in both of these palettes because, I don't know, I just feel like, I guess these palettes have like a complete look in them. I've seen people do a whole look with these palettes, and like, it can be done, but I don't know. I want to combine them both and see what we come up with. As usual, I'm just going to take Poof here, kind of like a bone setting shade, and I'm just going to set that paint pot. Same old. I do this literally every single time. I don't really know what I want to do. We're going to just kind of experiment a little bit. Because I also do have this gold liner that I'm thinking maybe we can do like a cut crease or something. I don't know. We're just going to kind of play and see what happens. So I'm going to go into the shade Access here first, which is like a pretty... She's yellow. She's pretty yellow. And I'm going to use this as my transition shade. This one's not bad. It's pigmented. I'm also using a really fluffy brush. So that is freaking yellow. So I'm gonna go into the shade here. And I'm gonna kind of layer that on top lightly just to kind of cool it down a little bit. I'm thinking I'm going to go in with the shade Agent here. And this is the Armed and Gorgeous palette, by the way. And I'm just going to put that in the crease. Alright, this one's not bad either. Yeah, this one's not bad. So far, so good. Now I'm going to go into Smooth Criminal here, and I'm really just building up that brown shade. This one's not bad either. I mean, it's pigmented and blending really well. I don't hate it. I'm just focusing this on the outer corner of my eye. It's skipping a little bit here. Again, really not that bad. I really don't hate it. It's not that bad to me. Cool it down a little bit. I'm going to go into Mojo from the Dark Magic palette on a really small blending brush. And I'm just going to pack this in the outer corner as well, just to deepen it up. I mean, so far, this one's patchy, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if you can see how it's breaking up here a little bit. So, kind of difficult to work with. I don't know, this is bothering me, this like patchiness here. That to me is pretty patchy, and it's not wanting to move. And I am going back and forth with my transition shade and stuff. This eye looks really good, but this one is not my favorite. So now I'm gonna go in with some concealer, and I'm going to cut the crease. Also, fun trick, if you're cutting your crease, put the concealer down and look up, and it will tell you where exactly you should cut it. So I'm looking at the Armed and Gorgeous palette and the Dark Magic palette, and I don't know if you see these two olive greens, but they look the exact same to me. Potion and Top Secret right here, these two look pretty much identical to me. So I'm going to go in with Top Secret. I'm just going to pat this on my eyelid where that concealer is. Pray for me. Oh, yikes. Oh my god, can you see that? That is a patchy disaster. Oh my god. Oh my god. This was an absolute mess, and I tried so hard to sit here and blend this out. What a mess. Okay, I'm gonna go into Inside Job here. Oh my god. And blend that into the, oh my god, Do you see that? That's literally not budging at all. Oh my god. First of all, what is this color? This is not the same color that's in the pan. All right, I'm gonna go into Temptress here and see if I can't fix that a little bit into the outer. You can literally see the line when what I wanted was it to be like seamlessly blended. Oh, this is so bad. This eye is okay. Again, it's this eye. God, that's horrible. This is just a muddy mess. This is a disaster. Like, this is so bad. This is honestly why I was avoiding using these. So I want to try the eyeliner. This is the Morphe gel liner in the shade Lit AF. And I actually did purchase a liner brush for this, although it looks really thick. So we're gonna have to see. That's pretty thick for a liner brush. I have a much smaller liner brush that I typically use. Like, I don't know if you can see the comparison, but this is kind of big. But it is really sharp and pointed, so we'll give it a go. So it's this kind of like gold coppery shade. It's very yellow, that's why I went in with the yellow shadow first. So see if we can't fix this up a little bit. I hate this eyeshadow look. This brush is just way too thick for me. It's like, it's not working. Not working at all. Look how thick that line came out. The eyeliner itself is like pretty creamy. Oh, good lord. Morphe, why are you sabotaging me like this? Some of these shadows were fine, but like, they all need to be good. I'm sorry. So I want to move on to face now because I don't know what else to do. We're just gonna move on. We're gonna move on to face. All right, so no new face products here yet. I'm just taking my YSL Blur Primer, and I just want to blur out my pores. I just want my skin to look good. For foundation, I'm going in with my Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte Longwear Foundation. And I do actually have a Morphe sponge to test out. This is the Chiseled, what is this called? The Highlight and Contour Beauty Sponge. So it's this red one. I already wet it, so it's kind of dense, I'm not gonna lie. Feels denser than my Beauty Blender. So I'm just gonna use that to, I do like the straight edge though to like carve out your contour and stuff. And it's gonna be helpful to get like that edge on my eye. The sponge is nice. It's not as bouncy as my Beauty Blender, but I like it. Alright, so I went ahead and did my concealer, powdered, and put on my brows. Not my favorite. I do like this sharp edge here for getting under like eyeshadow or something like that for detail work, but this like was so thick I could barely blend out my concealer without like screwing up as if I can screw it up anymore, my eyeshadow. And I don't know, it picked up a lot of my foundation. Like, I have so much redness on my nose still, and I used Tarte Shape Tape, which I use constantly, so this like just like picked up the product, and I don't know, it's pretty dense, but like I said, this would be nice to like carve out contour and stuff. Not a must-have. I like my Beauty Blender better, to be quite honest. Moving on. So I have two face items here. I have the Lo-Fi Sculpt and Shimmer Highlight and Contour Palette in the shade 8L. And then I also have this bronzer in the shade Debutante. So I want to open these up and see if I want to use both of them or one or the other. So that's what the bronzer looks like. And this palette is chunky. But I have to say, everything you buy from Morphe comes bubble wrapped, which is really nice. So super sleek packaging. I have to give them that. This is like pretty. So my SD card just filled up, so my camera stopped recording and I did not realize. Today, you guys, has just been not my day. So I took this highlight and contour palette. I think it's like the Lo-Fi something. And it looks like this. You get 4 contour shade. I don't know if this is supposed to be a setting shade, to be completely honest. It's really orange. And then 4 highlights over here. And I purchased this bronzer as well, but I realized it's already in the palette. Whatever, I still used it. I did go in with Donut here to bronze. It's kind of a shimmery, glowy bronzer. And then I used Debutante to kind of carve that out. And then I took the sponge and I just kind of neatened it up with this straight edge here. I did also apply a blush. I do wish this palette had a blush in it. I don't know, I feel like you could have definitely put a blush in here instead of 4 highlight and 4 contour. I don't know, am I just being like picky? But I don't know. I think it would have been nice if they put a blush in there. It would have been kind of like a whole package. So I just went in with like a peachy kind of pink blush, just a light wash of color on the cheeks. And we are now going to finish this eye look. So just taking a brown eyeliner, I'm just going to align my waterline. So I'm going to take the color Mojo and just kind of go over the liner. Just really, really close to that lower lash line. And then I'm going to go in with Trickery, this sparkly green, on the remainder of my under eye. This shade is not pigmented at all. This is a mess. So now I'm gonna go in with this shade here, this kind of transition shade, and I'm just going to blend those out. So now going back into Armed and Gorgeous, I'm going to go into the shade Guilt Trip here, this yellowy gold shade. And I'm gonna pack this in my inner corner. That shade's nice. I truly, truly despise this eyeshadow look. All right, I'm gonna go into VIP here, this like white pearl shade. And I'm gonna use that as my brow bone highlight. I'm gonna use the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. I've heard lots of good things about this actually. This mist is so nice and fine. Oh, it smells really good too. Okay, I'm into that. I'm gonna go in and highlight, and I'm going to go back into this contour palette, and I'm going to mix the shade Supernova and Lit, this like yellow and gold here. And I'm going to take that on my trusty A23 Anastasia brush, excuse me. All right. That's at least working. That's at least doing me some favors. This yellow one though is like kind of chalky. And excitingly enough, I actually have a pair of lashes from Morphe. These are the shade Eye Traction. These kind of like flare out to the edge so they give that cat eye effect. So they do complement this look nicely. If I can get them out. Is that the style, Eye Traction, or go on and fake it? I don't know. That's really confusing to me. So this is what they look like. They actually feel like silky, but they do still look very plastic. Damn, you guys, I'm just like not holding back today. So I'm just gonna cut these. Alright, so for lips, I have two options. I have the bullet lipsticks or I have liquid lips. And I'm thinking that we're going to go in with a liquid lip. So I'm going to go in with the shade Jealousy. I do want to swatch these lipsticks though. Interesting packaging. Oh, it's a really pretty color. They're pigmented. That's nice. I actually really like that. That's really pretty. I'm not mad about that. And then this is the shade Honey, which is just a nice nude. This is Honey here. That's nice. These are pigmented and they seem matte but still really creamy. So we're actually gonna go in with the shade True Story. This is kind of like a camel color. I'm hoping. Packaging is very deceiving on these. Oh my god, just let it be over already. Okay. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed whatever that was. I quickly want to recap these products before we go, because I'm trying to save you some money here. Let's talk about these eyeshadow palettes first. I mean, they're a great price. You really can't complain about that. They are pretty affordable in that sense, but the inconsistent, first of all, the color layout of these is really cool. I like that they're all kind of themed. These are the two that I used today, the Dark Magic and then the Armed and Gorgeous. So I think it's cool that there's different like aesthetics to each palette. I do appreciate that. The layout is nice. I think you could, if you really wanted to, get away with one look out of one palette. I don't think you have to dip into other palettes necessarily, but it is nice if you have all of them. You can kind of mix and match and that stuff, but I think that you definitely could get one complete look. I mean, you do have a transition shade, you have some shimmer shades and dark shades, so like there is versatility in these palettes. You have what you need to get the job done. The inconsistency in these shadows is just so disappointing to me. They're so splotchy, they didn't blend well. I mean, the first few that I used in like my crease, the transition shade, that kind of stuff, they looked really pretty and they came out really nicely and it was kind of giving me hope, false hope. And then I went in with that green and it was just completely all downhill from there. I think you should save your money on these. If you want to buy a Morphe palette, the 350 is beautiful. They just came out with a new one that's really nice. The Jaclyn Hill original palette is so much better quality than these. It's not worth it to me. Don't go through the pain and the struggle of trying to work with these. And like I said, this was the good batch. And they still just weren't what I needed them to be, and it's really disappointing. I can't recommend these. So this cream gel eyeliner thing in the shade Lit AF, it's a cute name. It's a pretty color. I would definitely use this as like an eyeshadow base or something. The brush I took it on to kind of line my crease was just too thick, so it didn't really work out the way I had envisioned it to. It still is fun though. I'm definitely going to keep this. Not a terrible product. It is really creamy. It's nice. The color is really unique and pretty. I don't have a gold gel liner like this. So this is like a nice addition. It's inexpensive. I have no complaints here. It's nice and small, so you can use it before it dries out. I think it's decent. I'm not upset about it, and I'll probably use it again. You guys already know how I feel about this sponge. It's like, okay, it's a sponge. I'm not gonna dwell on it. The straight edge is nice to kind of carve out your contour and stuff, but this was just too dense for me and I couldn't get it short enough to really get under my under eyes. I might use it again, I might not. I'm really not losing sleep over it. So next I want to talk about this highlight contour palette. I definitely do want to play with this some more. The highlight shades were okay. They're a little bit chalky though, I'm not gonna lie. And I just feel like 4 highlight shades and 4 contour shades, or this like setting shade, I don't really know what that is. But this palette could have easily used a blush or an actual setting shade like a banana shade or something. I can't get everything I need out of this one. I'm gonna play with it some more. It's not bad. And same goes for this bronzer in the shade Debutante. Kind of pissed because it's in the palette. I didn't realize that this shade was one of the contour shades in the palette, so I really didn't need to purchase this. I think it was like $6 though, so it is affordable. It is like a nice bronzer, but I did use it as a contour shade because I am so fair, and it worked fine. It did look a little bit muddy, but once I cleaned it up with some translucent powder, it worked. So this is okay to me, not the worst thing. So if you don't want the whole contour palette, you can buy this individually. All right, so let's talk about these lashes. I don't like these. I mean, they're not horrible. They're super spiky and they're just like not doing it for me. I don't see myself reaching for these. They're okay. They are kind of like that faux mink material, silk lash kind of thing, but because they are so spiky, they do still look very plasticky and fake to me, especially since they do have a very, very thick band. So just keep that in mind. You definitely need to apply some eyeliner because the band will show for sure. So yeah, like I said, not crazy about them, but I don't hate them. With this look, it's fine because it is so dramatic. I did need really big lashes, but I don't see myself reaching for these again in the future. So the setting spray, I can't really speak to because it has only been like 10 minutes, so I don't really know how well this sets your makeup. But I think it's a really cool concept that it's a continuous setting mist. So you can use this before, during, after. You can kind of layer it on, pile it on. As you saw, the mist, I love this aerosol can. The mist is so fine. It did not like camel spit on my face or leave any weird blotchiness. So from that aspect, I really do like it. It smells really nice. And you get 2.8 fluid ounces, which is a decent amount. So this I will definitely be using, and I want to test it out and see if it really does preserve your makeup. So lastly, I want to speak to this liquid lip that I actually have on right now. This shade reminds me so much of Dose of Color's Cork, and this is the shade True Story. These liquid lips are super liquidy and they dry that really, really flat matte, like super, super matte. So they do show some fine lines, and if you have any sort of chapped lips or anything, you're really going to need to exfoliate and use a lip balm prior to this. But I mean, these are nice. They're really inexpensive. You get a lot of product. The packaging is so cool. It is coming off the inside of my lip there, so I don't know how well it's gonna wear. These remind me a lot of the ColourPop formula. If you own those, you know exactly what I mean. It dries down and it can kind of like leave you with that inner ring. But the color is really pretty. They're super opaque, so these I will definitely continue to use. Alright guys, so that's going to conclude my Morphe review. Let me know if you enjoy these videos where I kind of do one brand encompassing everything. So if you did enjoy this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe before you go. Feel free to leave me a comment if you've tested any of these products and have some differing thoughts. I'm very open to trying stuff more than once. I really did want all this stuff to work. I wasn't trying to be mean or anything like that. Please keep that in mind. I do love Morphe brushes. There's original eyeshadow palettes that I truly do enjoy. So this in no way is hate to anybody. It's just my, unfortunately, opinions. So thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.